So you have your real estate license. What's important to you in a real estate brokerage? If you're brand new, you may not know. You may think you know, but you might not know, if that makes sense. Hey, it's Susan Milner with Florida Future Realty, and I just wanted to pop on here and talk about different brokerage models that are out there and available to new and experienced agents. Now, if you're a new agent, you may be more limited on the type of offices that will hire you. Some companies only want experienced agents, and some companies only want full-time agents that are motivated, and a lot of new people want to continue working their current job or career in order to save enough money to transition over to real estate, and some brokerages are willing to work with you through that. Some things to think about, consider, are how does the brokerage feel about that? So when you are interviewing with different brokerages, be completely honest. Let them know, hey, look, this is only going to be part-time for me. I'm never planning to go full-time. Or, hey, I want to do this part-time for 6 months or a year, but my end goal is to transition to full-time. Or, look, I already quit my job. I need to make money now. I am fully committed to going full-time. Please help me. Then they'll let you know if that's possible. A good brokerage or a broker or manager should be able to say, hey, look, if you do this, 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 and this over the next however amount of time, you should, start making sales if you do the things that you're supposed to do. If they say, oh, I don't know when you might make your first sale or anything, they might not be the brokerage for you, because honestly, if you are with a team or a brokerage that's going to help you get started, they should have a clue. As long as you're competent and do what you're supposed to do, they should have a clue. Should you think about, having a closing in 60 or 90 days, or is it more like a year? An average agent on their own, it could be up to a year. So if you don't have funds saved or another job for that year to, pay your house payment and your utilities and your car and food and all those things, it's going to be very stressful and you'll probably give up. I think the rates are still like 80% of new agents don't make it in the first 2 years. So is that because they weren't good at their job, or was it because they didn't have good leadership, or maybe just didn't really fully know what to expect? I don't know. I'm sure that it's all different. Probably some people got into it and then decided they just hated it. Who knows? But the point is, you want to have a plan and make sure that you convey that plan to your broker or manager or team leader to see if you are on the right track, or if you have crazy goals, or if it's going to match the team. It's like any relationship you're going to get into. It seems like people always want to say the right thing, and you go into a meeting and you're like, say what you think they want you to hear, and you say what you think that they want to hear. Sorry, I totally misspoke that line. Or they oversell you. Watch for that too. A lot of managers and brokers oversell, their training, their how much you're going to be able to make, all of these things. For me, people, I've lost agents because I'm very like, this is what it is. And yeah, it's going to take work, but there is a return over there. And here's what that's going to look like when you put in the work. And it happens and people are happy. But a lot of times they go to that other place that's shinier, that's more excited, that says, hey, you're going to make $100,000 in your first year and you don't have to really do much. 3 months, 6 months into it, I usually get that phone call. Hey, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. The training has really sucked and they're not really helping me, and I don't think I'm going to make those goals that they promised me. Okay, let's talk. What have you done? What has worked? What isn't working? What could we change? And we go from there, because I am, as much as I'm an optimist, I am also a realist. And deals are not just going to fall out of the sky for you. And even if they do just fall out of the sky, you still have to know what to do with them. And if you've been in real estate for a while at all, you know this. It's like juggling to keep everything going. If you have multiple transactions and one of them's going to start falling, and whether you can keep it up in the air or it's going to, fall on the ground and implode, sometimes it's out of your control, sometimes it's totally within your control, but those things are going to happen. So getting the buyer or seller, getting the listing agreement or the contract, that's just the beginning. Then you have to get it all the way to the closing. That's where you get paid. That's where your customer's satisfied at the end. But I think that a lot of new agents don't understand that, because no one's explaining it to them in a way because it's not shiny and exciting. It's like, hey, look, there's all this work that's going to go into it, and this is what we expect from you, and this is what you're going to have to do to make that. But a lot of agents, even some of the experienced agents, they want the quick, easy money, and they don't want to put in the work and lay the groundwork, the foundation for their business. They just want to be willy-nilly and throw things around and see what sticks. So you really need to be honest with yourself, honest with your broker and manager, and see where it might be a good fit. If you don't want to put in the work and you don't feel like you have the responsibility and self-motivation to be on your own, maybe you join a team and say, hey, look, I'm really good at making the phone calls, or I'm really good at admin work, or I'm really good at, whatever it is, and see where you fit in with that team. And it could really work for you. I always like to see people's strengths and weaknesses. And then oftentimes I would team up agents to say, you two will work really well together. This one is a go-getter, will go out there and get the sales. This one's a little more introverted and wants to be, doing the paperwork, but they're very detail oriented. Maybe you guys should consider working together. And that might be the way to go. Now, you might be an agent that has enough of all of the traits that you can go off and be on your own. And that's awesome too. But, you need to be honest with yourself and not fluff up the reality of it. And there's going to be a lot of things, new agent, that you don't know. Even if you've been in it a year or two, there's still so much to learn. I've been in the industry for 16 years as a licensed real estate agent and investor prior to that. And I learn something new all the time. There's always a situation, a scenario, a change in the industry as a whole that I'm like, let me think about that. What does that mean? Is that an issue? Is it not an issue? These kind of things. How are we going to work through this? If you think that you know everything, you probably won't get very far in this business if you don't want to continue to learn and grow. So that has been my advice for new agents today. If you have any specific questions, feel free to leave comments below or message me, and I'd be glad to help you. Good luck.